Yo, Bloodroll, aka Mega Blitz. In today's video, we're looking at a deck that I've already actually told you guys I was going to make a video about. Now, I had made a video about a month or two ago about Roaring Moon EX with Sandy Shocks EX, and how I thought it might kind of be the new Turbo Moon type variant after rotation. And I was like, yeah, here's a sample deck list, but I'll make a video about that sample deck list and kind of tweak it in the future. Well, it's the future, and it's now. So we're going to be making a video about that Roaring Moon Sandy Shocks deck for post-rotation. So let's jump right in to that deck list. Alrighty, here we are at that deck list. So starting us off here with Roaring Moon EX. Now, Roaring Moon EX has a very powerful attack, Frenzied Gouging, for 2 Dark Energy and 1 Colorless Energy. Frenzied Gouging says knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. The active Pokemon is knocked out in this way, you take 200 damage to that Roaring Moon, so it takes 200 damage to itself. Second attack for double Dark Energy and 1 Colorless Calamity Storm 100 plus. You may discard a set even play. If you do, this attack does 120 more damage. Wait to Grass, Retreat of 2, 230 HP for an ancient Pokemon. And then we pair that with Sandy Shocks EX with its ability Magnetic Absorption. Once during your turn, if your opponent has 4 or fewer less prize cards remaining, you may attach a basic fight energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Its attack, Earthern Spike, for 200 damage for double fighting energy and 1 colorless energy. During your next turn, this Pokemon can attack. So really good just to be able to put some energies out of your discard pile and power them up to the Sandy Shocks here for a backup attacker, or being able to just kind of energy switch them to other Pokemon as well. And we got Mew EX in here. We got Morpeko for that free retreat, because Morpeko says with this ability, in a hungry hurry, this Pokemon has no energy attached. It has a free retreat cost, but it also has a pretty decent attack as well in a single prize Pokemon. For double Dark Energy, Energizer Wheel for 70 damage. You may move 2 Dark Energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So nice, just quick early chip 70 damage, move 2 energy to like a Roaring Moon or something. Can be pretty powerful as well. And then of course we got Radiant Greninja in there for that concealed cards, for that draw engine. We got Squawkabilly for that Squawk and Seize here. Now, something that is kind of a little bit different since the sample deck list and this deck list is I actually had cut a copy of Professor Sada's Vitality to go up for the Awakening Drum here. So I cut the Sada's Vitality because I was like, I felt really consistent being able to get energies onto Pokemon, being able to attach for turn, have the 4 Dark Patch, 3 Sada's Vitality, have the Earthen Vessel, being able to use that Magnetic Absorption as well. And then of course having the Awakening Drum for our ace spec of choice, which says draw a card for each of your ancient Pokemon in play. So usually we're gonna have at least 2 to 3 Roaring Moons in play, and usually a Sandy Shocks as well. So we're gonna be trying to draw anywhere between 3 to 4 cards most of the time. So for the full deck list here, we got 4 Roaring Moon EX, 2 Sandy Shocks EX, 1 Mew EX, 1 Morpeko, Radiant Greninja, 1 Squawkabilly EX, 3 Professor Sada's Vitality, 2 Iono, 2 Boss, 1 Professor's Research, 4 Energy Switch, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Dark Patch, 3 Trekking Shoes, 2 Earthen Vessel, 1 Pal Pad, 1 Awakening Drum, 1 Switch Card, 2 Ancient Booster Energy Capsules, 1 Emergency Jelly, 3 Pokestop, 1 Town Store, 7 Dark Energies, and then 4 Fighting Energies. So let's jump right in to that gameplay. Alrighty, here we are at that Moon Shocks gameplay here. At our coin flip, our opponent does pick tails, like the way our opponent thinks. Also, super cool Crobat coin there, looks really sick. So now we're gonna elect to go second here, and the reason I elect to go second here is because I want to be able to attack as fast as I possibly can. We have nothing to evolve in the deck, and we're gonna be able to play a supporter. We're gonna be able to hopefully attack with Roaring Moon as quickly as we possibly can as well. Starting here, not too bad. Got 2 Roaring Moon EXs, Ultra Ball, Emergency Jelly, Dark Energy, and 2 Fighting Energies. It's not too bad of a hand here. Our opponent gonna have an Arceus V up in the active spot, attach energy, and pass. Now, if we could pull off a potential Earthern Spike off of a Sandy Shocks to take a KO, that would be absolutely incredible. However, that would be very difficult to pull off. So we're gonna be able to just play the Pokestop here, attach Dark Energy for turn, Pokestop, gonna get the Nest Ball here. Now we're going to grab ourselves Radiant Greninja, and we did end up milling that Squawkabilly EX off of the Pokestop there. So that's why we ended up grabbing the Radiant Greninja there. Concealed cards, discard, get an Awakening Drum for Sada's Vitality, bench the other Roaring Moon, Ultra Ball, pitch Emergency Jelly, Fighting Energy to grab ourselves a second Roaring Moon a third Roaring Moon EX, sorry. So get another Roaring Moon EX there. to the bench here. Professor Sada's Vitality, attach 2 Fighting Energies as to our 2 Roaring Moon EXs. Trekking Shoes going to discard that Dark Energy here. Dark Patch going to be able to just draw some cards off that Awakening Drum, and then we're trying to get ourselves an Energy Switch so we could take the KO off of that Arceus V, but unfortunately we weren't able to do so. We needed the Energy Switch to be able to move the Dark Energy to the Roaring Moon EX and to be able to Calamity Storm or Frenzy Gouging to take the KO. But now our opponent is going to be able to evolve the Arceus V into V-Star, bench a Giratina V, and then be able to play the Iono here. So we're going to get into another pretty decent hand after that Iono. They're going to bench a Bidoof, play the Trekking Shoes, take the card off the Trekking Shoes. So we're playing against Arctina, which I feel like isn't a terrible matchup. It can be a little tough. They are playing the Hero's Cape, so that makes Calamity Storm a little bit more clunky per se to try to take KOs. So we're gonna have to rely a little bit more on Frenzy Gouging for some KOs on some things. But after that Iono, we got a Morpeko and Iono of ourselves, Dark Patch, Trekking Shoes, Nest Ball, and a Dark Energy. Our opponent here going to use that Starbirth ability to find 2 cards and put them into their hand. Going to bench that Squavit, attach double Turbo Energy to that Arceus here. Going to be able to Trinity Nova for 180 damage, powering up their Giratina V here. Going to be able to put 2 Grass Energy and a Psychic Energy to that Giratina V here. Attach the Dark Energy for turn. Going to be able to Nest Ball here. Going to be able to grab myself that Sandy Shocks. Now, if I could have found myself maybe into a boss or something, that'd be kind of good. We're going to Pokestop here, accidentally milling a Professor Sada's Vitality and a boss, but we get an Energy Switch, which feels pretty good. So now we're going to Trekking Shoes, get rid of the Energy Switch, get into another Professor Sada's Vitality, but we're going to have another Trekking Shoes here, so we're going to be able to use that Trekking Shoes, discard that Dark Energy, get into ourselves into an Ultra Ball, which does not feel great. So we're going to Professor Sada's Vitality, attach the Dark Energy here to that Sandy Shocks to draw 3 cards. Going to be able to get a Sandy Shocks and another Fighting Energy off of that. Concealed card is going to be able to get an Energy Switch and a Town Store here. Going to be able to Energy Switch, move some energies to that Sandy Shocks here for an Earthern Spike attack, and be able to retreat out of that Roaring Moon into the Sandy Shocks here, play the Town Store, use the Town Store here, just to kind of look through the deck, see what we got access to. We got 3 energies left in deck, which isn't too bad. Dark Patch to put a Dark Energy to that Roaring Moon EX here. Going to be able to Ultra Ball away the Sandy Shocks and the Nest Ball here for that Mew EX. Going to be able to Earthern Spike for 400 damage to that Arceus V-Star here, putting us at a 4-6 split. So Sandy Shocks, a really good attacker into the Arceus decks because you are going to be able to hit them for weakness. You don't really care if it gets KO'd or anything because you could just bench another Sandy Shocks or something like that and then be able to put yourself in a position where you can just start Magnetic Absorption over and over again to pull some energies back out. But we ended up getting an Ancient Boosted Energy Capsule, and I believe we also got an Iono as well off of those prize cards here. So now we're in a position where that Mew EX might come in handy because if I can Energy Switch enough times to the Mew EX, I will be able to copy that Lost Impact attack to the Giratina V-Star. Now, the problem that does stink a little bit with that is they do have that Hero's Cape on there, but they don't have another Arceus setup. So if I can get rid of this Giratina V-Star, we're in a pretty good spot. They're going to be able to evolve their Bidoof into Barrel here for that Industrious Incisor. They're going to be able to Ultra Ball, discarding an Ultra Ball and a Grass Energy to grab themselves an Arceus V, bench the Arceus V here, and then they're going to be able to Nest Dash, put the card on the bottom, draw a card, and then they're also going to be able to have that Industrious Incisor draw up to 5, so drawing 4. So Trekking Shoes here are going to be able to ditch that Giratina V into the discard pile to get another card, attach the Psychic Energy for turn to the Arceus V here, Lost Impact, pitching 2 energies into the Lost to take a KO on that Sandy Shocks here. So now I'm in a position where I'm like, okay, we're at a 4-4 split. I'm in a position where I probably can take a KO on your Giratina V-Star here. So we're just going to have to see what we can do. Put up the Morpeko here. So I will be in a position to retreat out of it for free. Town Store, just kind of look through my deck again because just want to make sure you know what you have. Nest Ball to thin the hand a little bit. Bench the Mew EX here. Going to be able to also have access to the Iono and that Pal Pad here. So we're going to Pal Pad, getting ourselves a bot or double Professor Sada's Vitality there. I was thinking about the boss, but I ended up opting out of it. So now we're going to be able to restart, get a Dark Energy to that Roaring Moon EX here, play the Iono, putting us both at a 4 split here. going into the Roaring Moon EX, going to be able to have access to Earthen Vessel and the concealed cards, but I like to not do that, and I just take the Frenzy Gouging KO here on that Giratina V-Star to take 2 more prize cards, putting us at a 2-4 split. So now I have Ultra Ball and Energy Switch at my disposal here. And I'm like, okay, we're doing pretty fine. Unfortunately, we are going to be able to get KO'd by this Arceus V, even if they don't end up evolving into the Arceus V-Star, because that Power Edge is going to do 110 damage to be able to KO our Roaring Moon EX. But they're going to be able to bench another Bidoof, Nestash here, grabbing a card, getting an Arceus V off that Nestash, Industrial Deciders for 5 cards here, going to be able to play the Judge on top of that, giving us a little bit of disruption here, but we're going to get into Professor's Research, Boss, Dark Patch, and Earthen Vessel. So we are going to have access to quite a bit of things here. So we're going to have to see Trinity Nova here, going to be able to take a KO on that Roaring Moon EX, putting a Grass Energy to that Arceus V-Star here. And now I'm in a position where I'm like, okay, I need to be able to win this turn. So I'm going to put the Mew EX there for the free pivot. And I'm like, all right, we got to try to thin the deck. We got to try to get some stuff going here. So we're going to Dark Patch, attach a Dark Energy to that Roaring Moon here, just kind of looking to see what I have access to. Again, making count my energy switches and things like that. So we're going to Earthen Vessel, and we're going to discard Boss's Orders to just grab a Fighting Energy and a Dark Energy, attach the Dark Energy for turn to that Roaring Moon EX here. Going to be able to discard that Fighting Energy with the concealed cards here. Going to be able to Professor Sada's Vitality to draw 3 cards, to be able to put up that Roaring Moon EX, Frenzy Gouger for game, to take the KO on that Arceus V-Star, winning us the game there. Showing that this deck is still a turbo type deck, and you still have a lot of cool plays you can make it, even without the baby Roaring Moon. So you don't even need the baby Roaring Moon, which also feels really cool, because when my buddy Blake Bullum and I were kind of talking about this deck and stuff, I didn't want to run the risk of having single prize Pokemon, and I just really wanted to focus on the Roaring Moon and Sandy Shocks. So when he had originally sent me the deck list, this was before that card had come out, and I didn't really want to change it from that. I really want to just focus on the Sandy Shocks and the Roaring Moon and have that good matchup into the Arceus variants and be able to take Frenzy Gouging KOs a little bit more recklessly than the other deck can, I feel like. So let's jump right in to that outro. Alrighty, that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm gonna make sure to put the deck list that I played in today's video in the description below, so you guys want to try out this deck for yourself, you'll be able to. If you guys are enjoying the content I've been making so far on the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!